Have you ever sent a buyer representation agreement over to a buyer and they've got really weirded out by it and you feel like that exact moment kind of put a little bit of a strain on your working relationship with them? If that's the case, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly when and how to present a buyer representation agreement to a buyer so that they feel comfortable signing it with you. And most importantly, most of the time, they're actually going to ask you if they can sign the document with you instead of you forcing it on them. And one of the challenges that we have as agents when we don't do this process correctly, there's a few things that can happen. One, we send the buyer representation across and the buyers are like, they feel really weird about it because they feel like we're trying to pull a fast one on them or get them to sign something that maybe they shouldn't be signing. The second thing is we just don't send the buyer representation agreement at all and we have no process for this and we start being unpaid tour guides without any guarantee that these people are going to be our clients. And the worst part about that is when you've taken somebody out on a bunch of showings and then they decide that you're not the agent for them and you just wasted all your time. And then the last thing is when you have a buyer representation agreement that you send across to somebody, and even if you've told them in advance that you're going to be sending it, but you haven't set the right expectations around what it means, they kind of go through it with a fine-tooth comb because they've heard all of these terrible things about getting into a contract with an agent, and so they start picking it apart and asking you a million questions and asking you to change things. And by the way, they should be going through the contract and you should be explaining everything appropriately. That is 100% your responsibility and their right in your working relationship together. But when you pre-frame when and how this is going to work, it takes a lot of the pressure off of your working relationship. It sets you up as an authority and it gets them to be like, yeah, this process totally makes sense. I'm absolutely happy to sign it with you. This is totally fair. I understand that in order for us to work together, there's got to be some type of agreement, and I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. So let's hop into it now. So I don't mind the process. I think the text came off as a little bit aggressive for the where you were at in the relationship with this person. Like the way that I understood the text was like this was like you have no relationship with this person and you just kind of said that was kind of the context that I got from the text.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually like in terms of like when you presented the BRA in the actual relationship, I like the timing. I just think you need to finesse the way that you're saying it because obviously you do have a relationship with this guy, but I think some people could have taken that text a little bit aggressively and you would have
Yeah.
wasted all of the time up until the point of you sending that text, which has actually been quite a bit of time at this
Yep.
point, right?
Yeah.
So did you ever do a strategy session with this guy?
Never did a strategy session. I just it was last Sunday when we first went out, and
Hmm.
then I on Monday I sold him all the sold listings
Hmm.
like with the buildings that he was looking at, and then Tuesday I sent him another email, kind of like a trending email for to cause urgency a little bit.
Okay.
And then on Wednesday, we spoke over the phone about some of the email, like the first email I sent him about the sold listings, and then Friday is when he asked me to go and have a look at those properties.
Okay.
And I wanted to send him a text before because I wanted to send those emails before I sent the text, just so it looks like I'm doing like something for him and
Yeah,
not
yeah,
just
for
sitting
sure.
on my ass and just sending him listings kind of thing.
Yeah, so I think from like a process optimization perspective, you need to bring the BRA. Just sending a text to somebody and being like, sign this document with me without
Yeah,
ever preceding that is very like I would personally, I would not like that. If I felt like
yeah,
someone just dropped the contract and was like, sign this contract and I'm not working with you,
yeah,
it's kind of jarring from a customer service experience or a client experience. And so you've done a lot of the legwork on the front end, but you need to precede when you sign a BRA with someone so that
yeah,
it doesn't come across as jarring, right? So when you watch the strategy session course, you'll see like I never meet someone without having the strategy session first. And about three quarters, maybe about halfway through the strategy session, is where I very lightly bring up, hey, this is how I usually work with clients. I do this 3 outing rule thing. The strategy session, what we're on right now, is outing number 1. It used to be in person, ha ha ha. Outing number 2 is that we're going to do an educational tour together where we're going to go see 3 to 5 properties together. I'm not going to, now we need them to sign something for that particular day because of Tressa, but I'm not going to ask you to sign a long-term commitment with me at all, nor would I want to sign one with you because we're just meeting each other. So we'll do that. There's no commitment. After that, usually I've spent anywhere from like, I call it 4 to 10 hours working for you without any commitment. And I think that's fair because I do need to earn, my position as your agent. But after that is when I would expect a commitment from you because I've invested that amount of time and I've shown you what I can do for you. Is that a fair trade? Is that how we, and then everyone's like, yeah, that's super reasonable. And then when I actually go to bring up the BRA, 9 times out of 10, I don't bring it up. They bring it up to me and they're like, hey, remember that document that you said that I could sign with you that would let you be my agent? I'm like, yeah. They're like, can you send that to me? Like, I want you to be my agent. I'm like, yeah, sure. Right? But when you don't say any of that and then all of a sudden you take them out 3 times, they ask you to go see properties and you're like, I'm not showing you any more properties unless you sign this document. It's a much different experience versus being like, yo, this is when we're going to sign the thing. Are you cool with that? I'm going to ask you to sign anything with me today, but would you be cool with that? And they're like, yeah. And then when you go and ask, it's like, yeah, this makes sense because you've preceded it. By the way, our process is exactly the same. You signed the contract at the same time as I do. You just didn't tell them here, and so the experience is kind of shittier on the back end.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't mean that to be rude. It's just like you have to
No,
think
dude,
about
you
it
can
from
say
the
anything. Don't worry. No, it's all good. I know what you mean.
cool. Do you have any questions about that, Ryan? Do you agree? Do you disagree? You want to add anything?
No, I mean, I agree. It's just the way you present it, right? Like
Yeah.
now here, like the great thing is we have Tressa working on our side that they have to sign it for us to be able to actually deliver value, right?
100%. Yeah.
And so you don't even need to make it about, hey, I'm not taking you to see properties. You, if you don't have this signed, you need to make it about happy to continue to show you properties. But the thing is, if we don't have this signed, I can't actually deliver any value to you in showing these properties. I'm pretty much just going to be a key that opens the door, right? And if you want me to do X, Y, Z, all of the things that you've explained you're going to do for them in the process, then Tressa is forcing us to sign this document so that I can give you the actual insights that my, all of my experience in this neighborhood or with this type product type, so on and so forth, you want to leverage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.